following program is a production of Hōʻike Kauaʻi Community Media.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Kauaʻi County Council Roundup here at Council Historic County Building. My name is Mel Rapozo, Chair. Councilmember Ross Kagawa. We're just going to recap today's meeting, September 11th. First of all, prayers and condolences to all the families lost in the September 11, 9/11 in New York City. It's time for all of us to reflect. We didn't have a very long agenda. We did start off with our blessing, words of wisdom from Kahu Jade Wale Ali Batad, which was pretty profound. It was an awesome start of the meeting. We had two certificates sponsored by Councilmember Bulasan. One was for the Hanalei Initiative, Joe Guy. Joe's a good guy.
Very good guy.
Active in the community.
And improvements, that happened at Kea Beach, and done, and the things done during COVID when, they shut the place down and how it recovered. And it's all due to, a lot of the volunteers like Joel and those Hanalei Haena community members that really put themselves on the line for the community and try to make improvements to that area. So
yeah, well-deserved recognition. And then we had another certificate for the 58th annual Turtle Ball, Kauai Filipino Women's Club, and that was awesome as well. Turtle Ball every year, Ross. I know you go. It's a really great event.
Right,
great event.
And just, I think the significance of the Filipino community to the island of Kauai, they are like one of the backbones of this island. And it's great that they have that celebration every year. It's so good fun. You guys have the money, you look them up, please attend, because you have a lot of fun. And like Mel said, it's not a short event. You get your money's worth. It's like 4 or 5 hours at least, right?
Yeah, full of entertainment, and it's a spectacular event, and it's really just preserving the Filipino culture. As Ross said, it's so important to our island. After that, we had some minor issues, minor items, but some of the key topics today, we did accept a grant from the North Shore Ocean Safety lifeguards. For the North Shore Ocean Safety Lifeguards from the Kauai Lifeguard Association. Very generous organization that raised money to help our fire and rescue squads, and they donated a mule in amount of $25,000. So mahalo to the Kauai Lifeguard Association. We had a very interesting topic today, and it was from our wastewater division requesting $46,000 to replace a broken pump that's been broken for a while. Ross, you brought that up. It's been broken for over a year. But we had a discussion, a much bigger issue, which is the failing Wailua sewer treatment plant. So, Ross, it's an issue we've been working on for quite a while. We've been urging the administration to move quickly. And here we are today, still spending money on repairs, but we should be really focusing on relocating that facility to a new place.
And, one of the things is that treatment plant is very old. It's like rotting, and they're fixing a lot of the problems so that we don't get major fines from EPA and the State Department of Health. But that treatment plant has always been talked about having the capacity to take more, but I guess because it's kind of failing, we're hesitant to put on more load onto that sewer treatment plant. But again, I don't know how old it is right now, 70 years or whatever old. When do we look at replacing it? At some time when you got a car, it gets old, you need to change it. And in this case, with the new upgrades that are mandated for changing cesspool to septic, why not look like you guys been pushing with Hawaiian Homelands? Why not push moving it, relocating it, and expanding that thing so that we can handle all of Kapa area and even out to Anahola if possible. So I think that's the bigger discussion, is how much money and time we're going to put into our old facility, and rather than focus our monies into a new facility that will be an improvement. It can take on more Hawaiian Homelands, which would be 100% local.
Yeah, if you ask me, that should have been done a while back. We cannot expand Wailua anymore for a couple of reasons. Number one, it's so old that, like Donald said, right? By the time this pump that they had to fix, when they went out to go purchase the pump, they no longer make it. That's how old that place is. But number two is it's in a tsunami zone. So there's no more, we cannot expand that anymore because of the location. So we need to move it. It's a 1.5 million gallon per day facility, but the capacity has been capped because of the lack of functionality. So it's 1 million gallon a day. You know, if we want to go to sewer, which is the ultimate goal, and you want to tie in Wailua, Kapa'a, Lihui, we're going to need a much larger facility. And with the technology today, you can get a lot more capacity in a smaller footprint. So it's time to relocate that plant. And that was a lot of the discussion today. It got loud at times because of the frustrations. I think I shared my frustration that this is not new. I mean, it's as long as I can remember, we've been talking to wastewater to move this process along so we can get the facility up and running, so we can get more people on sewer and save our environment and just make it a better opportunity. But it still hasn't happened, so it's frustrating.
Yeah, I mean, and just think about, you know, especially those of you familiar with that Kapa'i area, you got the homesteads, you got the house lots, you got Kapa'i area, you got all the area, you know, adjacent to the beach. I mean, these are, so valuable areas. If we can have them all on sewer, we'd really help the environment away from water streams, rivers, ocean. I think just a no-brainer that we look at Wailua treatment plant and we expand that thing so that we can take care of, you know, our environment.
And I talked about the window of opportunity we have right now with DHHL Hawaiian Homelands, because right across the highway, that DHHL lands, they are planning to develop agricultural lots for the Hawaiian people. If you move the plant across the street, all of the effluent, all of the waste after it's processed, today it gets up to R1 water, which is very clean treated water, and that can be used to irrigate the ag farms. So you don't have to worry about sending water into the ocean, treated sewer into the ocean like we see now. So it's just something we have to do, and our job on the council is now strongly encouraging administration to move forward. So that's kind of what it is today. If you have an opportunity to go check that out, again, Hōʻike Channel 53, you can watch the meeting. I think you'll enjoy the discussion, maybe even get a little angry. But it is what it is. Next up, we approved federal funds for our Elderly Affairs Agency for National Family Caregiver Support Program, which is basically supportive services for our kupuna on the island, and that was in the amount of $700,000. We are expecting another state grant. The bottom line was this funding, along with the state funding that's coming in very shortly, will make sure that we don't that we can continue to service to our kupuna, our senior citizens, throughout the rest of the year. So that was good stuff as well. We had a couple of bills today. We had a bill regarding the guest houses. There was a bill introduced that would allow additional density, one more unit on ag lots. And that, I think, Ross, you know this. You have a lot of family here. I got a lot of family here. Many generational families own land. Unfortunately, I'm not one of them, but there's a lot of local families on the island that have these large parcels of ag land, and they cannot build because of the zoning. So this bill, if it's passed, will allow those owners of those parcels to build an extra dwelling in their property, you know, for a son, a daughter, a grandkid. Hoping we can do these things to ease up on the shortage of inventory on homes, but more importantly, to keep the families together.
Right. I mean, you know, we're in. Everybody says statewide, right? Anybody running for office, what is the biggest problem? It's affordable housing, workforce housing crisis that we all are in. You know, prices are skyrocketing. Fixer-uppers selling for over $1 million because we have a supply and demand problem. And, you know, this bill that the chair is pushing, this idea has been pushed to us ever since I ran for office in 2012. These ag people say no-brainer. Allow it. Allow a guest house. Allow more family homes to be built on ag lots that'll help solve the housing crisis. But you know, there's been pushback over the years from our planning departments and, you know, from other people who want to, you know, stick to what zoning is. They say ag is for farming, ag is not residential, but we're in a housing crisis. We don't have enough projects, developments coming on board to tackle the housing crisis. This is a great solution. I am in full support. Is it perfect? No. But it'll help tackle the housing crisis that we're in.
Yeah, and this was the first reading.
Excuse me.
It'll go to a public hearing on October 9th, and then it'll come back to us in a committee, and that's where we'll have the discussion to make sure we make it the best bill possible. So I'm excited about that. We also had a bill for second reading, meaning that it actually passed. It is now the new law, where, you know, if you live in your home, you get an owner-occupied tax rate, which is the lowest tax rate we offer for real property taxes. If you rent your house out, long-term rental in the affordable or the affordable range that the county sets, you also benefit from the lowest tax rate that we have, and you qualify as if you were living in that house. But it's only for long-term rentals. The state, we have families on Kauai that lease their lands or lease their homes from the state of Hawaii, DLNR, but the state doesn't do long-term leases. So some of these families have been in that homes for over 30 years, and we've always allowed them to have the owner-occupant exemption, which they paid the lowest tax rate. Well, last year or 2 years ago, our county attorneys ruled that because the way the law was written as far as long-term rentals, the month-to-month leases that the DLNR has wouldn't qualify. So basically, all this bill does is, if you're in the home and that's your permanent residence and you're in there, that you will be eligible for the homeowner or the owner-occupant exemption. So that'll help a lot of people. And then we also had another bill. It was a refinancing of bonds. The interest rates are dropping. We go in and we refinance our debt, so we get a lower interest rate, which equates to a lower premium or lower monthly payment for basically to save the taxpayers money. So good stuff. Not bad. So you guys want to check out the whole meeting, Hōʻike Channel 53. I want to thank Max and Olivia for covering this short recap. Hōʻike Channel 53, or you can go to www.kauai.gov, hit the webcast meeting button, and you can watch any of our council meetings or planning commission meetings on demand anytime you want. So with that, anything else, bro?
Oh, good. Thank you.
Thank you for joining me, man.
Thank you, brother.
Guys, until next time, mahui ho.
Hōʻike Kauaʻi Community Media's president and CEO is Allegra Gaines. Administrative assistant, Leiko Someta. Production and education services by Roger Olson. Production and IT services by Max Richardson. News and events producer, Trisha Allen. County producer and social media manager, Olivia Franco. Hōʻike's board of directors include Chair Adam Reversi, Vice Chair Lexi Jones, Secretary Nathaniel Evslin, and Treasurer Jackie Kaina. Additional directors include Leah Awohi, Lori Barrett, Rod Green, Teak Rubiano, and Taylor Young.